Okay then, my fabulous phonics crew, we are going to learn a new digraph today. Now, we are sort of professional digraph readers, aren't we? We have learnt so many of them already. So just remind me, what is a digraph? How many letters has it got? It's got 2. How many sounds is it making? 1. Well done. 2 letters making 1 sound is a digraph. Now here we've got our phase 2 digraphs and this digraph from phase 3, and these are all of our ones that have 2 letters that are the same, or like on this one, it's the same type of letter, isn't it? Both these letters make the same sound. What are our rules for these digraphs where we've got 2 letters that are the same, or they both make the same sound? Well done. These ones are the ones we use in the middle or at the end of words. Do we ever use them at the beginning? Nuh-uh. Not these ones. We can't use these ones at the beginning of a word. Okay. Then we got really clever, didn't we, just before half term, and we started learning these digraphs. So, what was the rules for these ones? Did these ones have rules, or could we use these ones anywhere in a word? Well done. These ones can go anywhere in a word, can't they? There are some that we never really hear, like this one. We never hear this sound at the beginning of a word, so we wouldn't use this at the beginning. And this sound we would never hear at the end of a word, so we'd never use this one at the end. Okay, but all the other ones, they can be used anywhere in a word. Now today's digraph, just to make life really, really complicated, guys, nothing in phonics is ever straightforward, I'm afraid. Today's digraph follows a rule of its own as well. Now, I'm not going to tell you what the digraph is or what the rule is yet. We're going to look at some pictures together first, and I want you to use those spider senses. See if you can spot what today's new digraph is. Are you ready? Let's look. Now, what have we got here, everybody? So, we've got our very busy spider. She's obviously been busy making her web again, hasn't she? But today, she's not got flies caught in her web. She's got all sorts of different things caught in her web. Let's have a little look and see. I can see she's got some paint caught in her web. Paint. Okay. I can also see that there's a snail down at the bottom of her web, and on the other side she's got a train. Paint, snail, train. Can you shout something else at me that she's got caught in her web? Let me hear you. Oh, I heard somebody say nail. Yes, well done. Right in the middle of her web is a nail. And what else can you see? Shout it at me. Oh, well done. I heard someone shout chain. Chain. Paint, snail, train, nail, chain. What else can you see, guys? Let me hear you. Oh, someone used a big voice then. Tail. Yep, she's got some poor fox's tail caught in her web here. And what's the last thing that you can see? It's pointing to the sail. Well done. So, this very busy spider has got paint, nail, snail, train, tail, chain, and sail all caught in her web. Oh, now, what do you notice about what sound each of those objects have got in them? Have a think for me, and we'll check together in a second. So, we had, in the spider's web, we had paint, snail, train, nail, chain, tail, and sail. Oh, now, can anyone tell me what sound can you hear in all of those words? Can you shout it at me? Well done. It's an A sound. A. So, for example, we had sail. S-A-L. Sail. A is the middle sound, isn't it? And we had paint. P-A-N-T. Paint. P-A. A is in the middle. A sound in all of our words today. So A is today's new digraph. Now, before I show you, does anybody think they know already? How do we write the A sound down? I'm not sure if you will know this one. Are you ready? Dun 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 dun! Here is today's digraph. Now, today's digraph has got letters in it that we know really well, hasn't it? What's this one? A. And what's this one? I. Well done. Now, we've learnt these as single sounds, haven't we? We learnt these ages ago, some of the very first sounds that we learnt, so we know them really, really well. When we see them like this, would we read them A, I? No, well done. And this is where our digraphs get a bit tricky because they use letters that we know really well as single sounds, but we have to remember that when we see them together like this, that's when we have to think, oh, it's not single sounds, it's a digraph. They're working together to make one sound. And the sound these two work together to make is the A sound. My turn. A. Your turn. My turn. A. Your turn. Well done. And the A sound is a lovely clear sound, isn't it? We have our mouths open and the sound comes from the back of our throats. My turn. A. Your turn. Ah, beautiful, lovely, clear sounding A's there. Well done, everybody. Now, if you'd like to hear the song that goes with today's new sound, click on the link and it'll take you to YouTube. And the action that goes with today's sound is this one. And it's this because it's a bit like if you couldn't hear something very well and you wanted someone to say it again, you might go A, as if you can't hear it. And that's exactly the sound that our digraph makes, isn't it? A. So the action that we do is A. Your turn. Oh, looks good. My turn. A. Your turn. Perfect, guys. Well done. Now, like I said, these are letters that we've practiced lots. So we're not going to practice forming our digraph on its own just now, because I know we've gone over an A and an I before. But we are going to be writing with our new digraph today. So we'll have a little look at the formation in that part of our lesson. Okay, what's our new sound for today? A. Well done. Let's have a little look at some of those things caught in the spider's web in a bit more detail and see if we can spot where today's digraph comes in those words. Right then, let's look at these things in a bit more detail, guys. So we've got our spider web here and she's got one object caught in the middle of her web. What's the arrow pointing to in this picture? Well done, it's pointing to the sail. So sail is the first word that we're going to think about together today. Now today we're going to focus on writing some words down using our new digraph. Now to do that, what do we need to think about? When we're writing, what do we always need to try and do? Well done, we need to use our tripod grip, don't we? Our pinchy fingers at the end of our pens. And we need to try and form our letters as neatly and carefully as we can. Now today, so you could see the picture nice and clearly, I'm going to be writing using the computer mouse. So my letters aren't going to look that neat and careful today because it's quite hard to do using a mouse. Your letters though, when you write your words, are going to be beautiful, I know, because you'll be able to use a pen or a pencil. So once we're holding our pencil nice and carefully and we're forming our letters neatly, what's the next thing we have to do? Well done, we have to think about the sounds in the word that we can hear and then think about the letters that we know that we can use to write those sounds down. Now, if you get stuck today and you can't remember what a sound looks like, where could you look to help you? Well done! Use those sound mats for me, okay? It's always okay to have a little look and a little check if you can't remember. That's what they're there for. Right, let's have a go at sail then. What's the first sound you can hear in sail? Well done, it's our S sound. So I'm going to do it as neatly as I can. But like I say, it's a bit tricky on the computer, guys. Sail. A-ul. Oh, now the next sound is our new sound for today. A. Can you remember how we write the A sound down? Well done. I've put you a little reminder on this web to help you. So we need an A. So we're going to go around the apple and down the leaf. Okay. And then our next letter is an I. So we go down with a little flick and then our dot goes on afterwards on an I, doesn't it? What's the last sound we can hear? S-A-ul, sail. Oh, well done. And we do an O with a little flick. And remember, an ul is a tall ladder letter, so it needs to be taller than our other letters. Now, what do we do at the end when we've written a word to help us check we've got all of our sounds? Well done. We're going to put our sound buttons on. So we have got, sorry guys, let me just get my pen. We've got S-A-ul. Well done. Now, why have I put a long line underneath my A and my I? Because it's a digraph. Well done. And when we use a digraph, we need to use a sound tile. S-A-ul. Well done. Let's have a look at another one. Okay, what's this one? It's tail. So let's write tail. What's the first sound you can hear? T. Well done. And T is another one of our sounds we know really well from phase 2. Tail. Ooh, it's our A sound next. T. A-ul. A. Right, how do we write the A sound down? I haven't put it on the web this time. Can you remember? Well done. We need our A and our I. Okay, and what's the last sound in tail? Oh, well done. And what can I put on to check I've got all my sounds? My sound buttons. Check with me then, guys. T, A, ul, tail. Does it look good? Brilliant. Now, what do you notice? S-A-ul, sail, T-A-ul, tail. Where is the A sound in those words? In the middle on both of them. Well done. Let's look at another one and see if the sound comes in the middle on that one too. Whoa, we've got paint this time. Paint. Are you ready? What's our first sound? P. Well done. Paint. Okay. What's our next sound? P. A. It's our new digraph. Can you remember how to write it down? Well done. A and an I. Okay, now what sound can you hear next in paint? We have to listen carefully in paint. P, A, N, T. We've actually got 2 more sounds to go. So we've got a N and then a T. And again, guys, sorry for my slightly wibbly writing. It's hard on the computer. Let's put our sound buttons in to check. Are you ready? P, A, N, T. Paint. Well done. Paint. Okay. Where's that A sound in this one, guys? It's in the middle. Again. Sail, tail, paint. It's all in the middle. Let's do one more together. Oh, what have we got here? A chain. Well done. Chain. Now, what sound can you hear at the beginning of chain? Chain. Ch-A-N. Ch. It's one of our digraphs. Can you remember? What does the ch sound look like? Well done. And of course, if you can't quite remember your ch sound, use that sound mat to help you. That's absolutely fine. But our ch sound is this one. Ch. Okay. And then what's next? A. Well done. And how do we write our new digraph down? It's an A and an I. Well done. And what's the last sound in chain? Ch, A, N, chain. Well done. Let's pop our sound buttons in and just double check. Ooh, so here we've got digraph, single sound. Ch, A, N, chain. And where's that A sound coming in this word as well, guys? In the middle. Well done. Okay, guys, what did you notice about our A sound? Was it at the beginning of all of those words? Was it at the end of all of those words? Where did it come? Well done, it was in the middle of all of those words. Sail, S-A-L, A in the middle. Paint, P-A-N-T, A in the middle. When you can hear an A sound in the middle of a word, this is the way that you write it down, okay? We don't use this digraph at the beginning or at the end of words. We only use this one in the middle of words, okay? Now, that's not to say that we don't get the A sound at the beginning or at the end of words, and this is where it gets a bit tricky, like I said at the beginning. It's not straightforward, unfortunately. If you can hear the A sound at the beginning or at the end of a word, you use a different way to write it down. If you hear it in the middle, this is the way that you write it down. Now that said, this is the first way that we've learnt to write the A sound down, isn't it? So for now, whenever you hear an A sound, you can use this way to write it down. And we'll learn about the different ways a bit later on when you're a bit bigger. Okay, so your job today then. I would love it if you could make me an A paper chain today. So to do this, you can either use the picture of all the different A objects caught in the busy spider's web, and I've put that on the next card. You could use those pictures to give you some words to write down, or if you're feeling really, really clever, you could come up with some A words of your own, but make sure the A sound is in the middle so that you're using today's digraph, okay? What I'd like you to do is to get some bits of paper, and you can choose. You could have them all one colour or you could do it all different colours. It's completely up to you. But what you're going to need is lots of little strips of paper like this, okay? Now on your first strip of paper, I'd like you to write down today's digraph. So today's digraph is A. So I've written that on my first bit of my paper chain, okay? And then what I'm going to do, sorry guys, I'm just looking for my glue tack. Then what I'm going to do, and you can use glue if you've got some at home, but I haven't got my glue stick to hand, is you're then going to stick your paper round into a circle, a bit like the paper chains we made in school at Christmas time. Can you remember those? So you make a little circle, and your first one needs to say A on it for me. Then you're going to get your next piece of paper. I'm going to make mine the blue one. And you are going to write one of your A words down on your next piece of paper. So, like I said, you might use one of the pictures of one of the objects caught in the spider's web, and that's absolutely fine. Or you might think of one of your own. Choose one of those and then write your word for me using your segmenting and your phoneme mat if you need to, and your neat and careful letters. Write your word for me on your next piece of your paper chain. So let's do sail, like we practiced together. So, S-A-O. And if you want to, you can put those sound buttons in for me to check you've got all of your sounds. S-A-O. Sail. Okay. And then keep going until you've got yourself a few different words written on your strips of paper. So let's do another one quickly. Let's do paint. A, N, T, P, A, N, T. Okay. Once you've got a few, all right, then you're going to put all your pieces together to make your paper chain for me. So can you remember what we did at Christmas time? You have to thread it through the circle and then join it together so it makes a new circle. Oh, so I've got A and sail so far, and then I get my next one and I'm going to thread that through this time, through the gap, join them together, and I'm making an A paper chain. I've got A, I've got sail, I've got paint. Your challenge is to see how long you can make your paper chain for me today. So you could write the names of all of the things caught in the spider's web to make your chain. You could think up of some of your own. And then once you've made your A paper chain, decide where you'd like to hang it to decorate in your house. And it will always be there to help you remember. Ooh, it'll always be there to help you remember your A sound and your A words. Okay, right, have lots of fun, guys, and I would love to see your A paper chains when they're finished. Think carefully about those sounds you can hear, write them down nice and neatly for me, and have lots of fun exploring.